And welcome once again to another episode of Stu Ham Productions Presents
J&M Solve the World. I am James.
And I am Matt. And with us tonight,
again,
acting like he's very hot.
No, I'm trying to cool down though. So don't worry about the blue thing on my head. You'll be all right.
The Arab turban.
Andrew!
Get out of terrorist.
Trying to cool down.
He just, it's a
As
cooling
y'all
hat.
can see, from the,
It's not quite as obvious as it was
the
earlier.
the first three, first two, yeah, maybe.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
I did not mean to.
Hey.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
He doesn't know what kayfabe is.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Say what? Who?
Kayfabe. We done 3 weeks of recording before this night.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay. Let's don't sit here and look good.
4. We done 4 weeks of recording. Speaking of kayfabe, to bring the whole room down to a fucking screeching fucking halt. Matt,
Let's talk about what's going on in the world of world wrestling entertainment.
yes, and TKO, which is the group corporation
That owns the WWE and UFC.
the Vince McMahon allegations.
Don't know nothing about that.
The wolf owl is probably pretty fucking close. Was been last week and a half or so as we were recording that allegations have come out from God, I can't remember her name now. I should be better prepared. But it was one
You
of
suck! What?
Yeah, I know. It was one of the paralegals who was on his team that took a
An NDA,
NDA,
non-disclosure agreement,
one of
she signed.
one
Yes.
of several. I think in total it was over $13 million
Allegedly.
She signed a $3 million NDA, and for some reason she got her first $1 million, and then Vince figured out a reason why she broke the NDA or something and quit paying her.
But
Now she has released text message conversations, and this is not good. No, I mean, okay. If we go back and go, yeah, Vince was having an affair. Okay,
he's a billionaire.
he's a fucking billionaire.
I mean, we've already heard one billionaire say that when you're rich enough, you can do whatever you want.
You can grab their pussies and whatever.
Yeah.
We've heard that.
Grab him in the pussy.
Grab them in the pussy. Yep, we've
Yep.
heard that. But
Who actually has ties to the WWE?
yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is. But he's gave up his SAG card.
Really?
Yes.
That's because he's going to become dictator, but that's a different conversation.
Yes.
But back to Vince.
Vince McMahon Jr.
Yes. These allegations are fucking. I've read and I've listened to other podcasts, and it's like, holy fuck, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Because it wasn't just an affair. He basically hired this girl out to other people. And, well, I guess we go ahead and mention John Laurinaitis,
Allegedly. He would have been better off going to the Moonlight Bunny Ranch.
Fuck. Duh.
Would have spent a lot less money.
He could have hired girls to piss on him if that's what he wanted. To do whatever he wanted at the Moonlight Bunny Ranch.
You know,
I don't know about the Moonlight Bunny Ranch, but I'm just saying he could have probably hired whatever to be done to be done.
I've watched a show or two on HBO.
Yeah.
But, you know, here's the thing. He allegedly shit on her face. Now,
yeah. While John Laurinaitis was fucking her.
I've heard of guys in the past saying that I would love to be underneath a glass table while this chick took a shit. But that goes along the lines of
that's bad.
Right, but that goes along the lines of, man, I would piss off her leg just to see where it came from.
Or I'd eat a mile of her shit to see where it came from.
Right,
and
right.
We've all heard those, and hell, maybe said them at one point in time. But we never fucking meant that shit.
No, because at the end of the day, it's still fucking shit and piss.
Exactly.
And I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but because of the medication I'm on, it's like, and I'm going to ruin a lot of people right now. It's like going to Culver's and you see the frozen yogurt just drooping out of the machines. Just a steady stream of frozen yogurt coming out of the machine. That's the shits that I take. I no longer take fucking solid fucking, oh my God, it's a baby arm coming out of my ass. No.
So you don't have a boom. Oh, I'm fucking done.
Oh no, that happens.
Oh, does it?
But then it's like fucking, you go to Dairy Queen and you get an ice cream cone that they're getting ready to fucking dip for you to get a dipped ice cream cone.
Right.
And that first fucking, like, they open it and it's like, poof! And then it's like, and they fill up that ice cream cone and they do the fucking, the dip thing.
So I got a question.
Yes.
How do we go from Vince McMahon taking a shit on a girl's head to your poops?
It's shit. It's still shit.
It's stuff we could try to wrap our minds around.
Yes.
Because
we're trying to identify with a billionaire, and that's with a B. Because him and
I guess that's why I've, would I love to be a millionaire? Love to not worry about bills. That would be fucking awesome. But when you get to the billionaire status and you feel like you can do any fucking thing, like the law does not have any control over you, is that, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, Elon, which he's not been accused of shitting on anybody's head, and I love his fucking internet service, but there was something about advertisement on X or whatever, and he's like, "You gonna threaten me with money? Fuck you." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Elon. Hell yeah. You go, brother. That's cool."
Well, you know, and here's the thing. Vince, like former President Trump and Elon, they have fuck you money. Meaning that it doesn't fucking matter.
No chance.
I mean, there was a reason why that was his fucking entrance music.
Right. But now it breaks down to who knew.
Right. I mean, because
who knew about Vince's depravities.
you know, they've talked about the former UFC champion and former WWE champion.
Which is only one.
Only one. But they've never said him by name.
But he was supposed to come back at this last pay-per-view.
SummerSlam. Or
No.
Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. He was not there. They brought up Rick Steiner's son, Braun Breaker,
Mm-hmm.
and he done that spot. It's a clusterfuck. Because we talked about this earlier. The Chris Benoit thing.
Yes.
Whenever
He has been completely erased
from WWE.
or from wrestling lore.
Well, yeah, because they own all of wrestling lore.
Yes.
But you try to look up a Chris Benoit match on Peacock, you're not going to find it.
No.
If you erase Vince McMahon from WWE, WWF, WWF, then you erase the whole history.
You're right.
Because he was a commentator.
Mm-hmm.
And then he became Mr. McMahon during the Attitude Era, so Stone Cold is gone.
Yep.
You got to erase all that shit.
The Rock.
The Rock, Undertaker.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. I mean, the WWE is going to survive this.
Yes.
They are hotter now than they've been in many years.
Right.
Maybe close to Attitude Era popularity. But I mean, and Triple H, he's the head right
Yes.
now. What did he know?
Right.
What did Stephanie know?
Well, and Stephanie had...
Every time Vince came back, Stephanie said, fuck, I'm out.
Yep.
She distanced herself, and Shane's like going, fuck, I'm out.
Shane's been out for a hot minute.
Yep.
Matter of fact, the first thing I saw about Shane, and I just saw it today, is his son got accepted to the University of North Carolina, I think, for football.
Nice.
Yeah.
A good story.
Yes.
Coming out of all of this shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
A good McMahon story.
And everybody thought Ric Flair was a degenerate. He just liked to fuck everybody that he came to a town with. He didn't force nothing.
No. As a matter of fact, he drew a line that you had to be 18 years or older.
18 to, what was it? What was the line in Georgia? 18 to 27. Don't bring your boyfriends or husbands. We'll be at the Marriott Hotel, blah, 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 blah.
I got to bring up, Bings, we're talking about the Nature Boy. I got to bring up a podcast with Shannon Sharp,
Right?
Club Shay Shay. And Rick talks about all them old matches and how he came up with the some of the catchphrases,
Right.
the private jet flying, limousine driving. I'm having a
dealing,
kiss stealing,
wheeling, dealing, son of a gun.
and
It's
I'm
hard
having
to-
a hard time keeping these alligators down.
Right.
But the Nate is one of those guys that lived the gimmick.
Oh, you think?
And the whole part about the private jet flying was because he was in Greg Gagne's wedding in Minnesota, but he had a wrestling match that he had to be at in Charlotte, North Carolina that night. So he rented a private jet for $2,500.
To fly him to Minnesota and back.
Fly him from Minnesota to Charlotte.
No. I just watched it.
Yeah.
It flew him up there and back for $2,500, which is like
$10,000 in today's money.
right. He said 50. He expanded upon it a little bit, but and when he came back to Charlotte, there was video crews there taking pictures
Yep.
of him getting out of his private jet.
Yes.
And he just lived that gimmick from then on.
As Snoop Dogg once said, Ric Flair was bling before there was bling bling.
Yep.
So, I mean, you take away Vince McMahon and there's no Hulkamania.
No.
There's no
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant. There's no Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Now, from what you're saying, is it sounds like we're defending Vince McMahon.
We're not defending him.
We're not defending Vince McMahon.
We're just stating facts.
If they try to erase him from WWE history, then you might as well just say, okay, from last year back, it's all gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fucking gone.
Yep.
You can't erase that.
You would erase. I mean,
What Vince McMahon done to this young girl allegedly,
allegedly.
and supposedly what he done to several others. It was like 23 others that have not came out yet, but it was sound like a power.
I could see that.
We're not going to go into detail on what he said. We've both heard what he supposedly said in these text messages, and it's fucking sickening.
It
I
is.
mean, as men, if anybody ever treated a woman like that, is fucking wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just it's fucking grotesque. And if he did that, the man needs to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
Agreed.
But like I say, Chris Benoit, for those of you who don't know, he was a great fucking wrestler.
He was
one of the best workers.
And he was a technical wrestler.
Yeah.
At that.
And nobody's ever said, well, turned out, they said his brain was like the brain of an 80-year-old with dementia.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time believing that, because how did he get to the airport?
Right.
How did he get home?
Right.
If he had the brain of an 80-year-old with dementia? Take your headphones off, Andy. I don't want to see you walk out and go, Love you, brother.
I'm getting Andy hugs. Oh,
Thank you.
oh.
Thank you.
Love you, brother.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Oh shit.
Tough enough. I asked you to go home.
Fireworks director.
Make sure let's listen. Make sure the dog don't eat him.
Yeah.
By the way, on a brighter note, we just had 12 baby pitty puppies tonight or today.
Oh.
They're also cute. If anybody,
There we go.
there we go. Delilah, our pitty, and my Hercules, who is a pitty American bull mix. They just combined to have 12 puppies today. So, if anybody would like a pitty puppy, PM us. We'll put some pictures up.
You know, if you would like
I mean, they're all just little big guys right now.
Yeah, they were just born on February the 10th.
Right.
So they're itty bitty puppies. But if you would like a puppy, if you would like a J&M Solve the World shirt or a J&M Solve the World hat, a J&M Solve the World hoodie, a J&M Solve the World beanie, hit us up in the comments down below. Let us know. Make sure you include your email address so we can talk on the DMs. Like, share, and subscribe. If we
your bank account number. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. If we get 200 YouTube subscribers, 100 Spotify followers, then for the 2025 calendar year, you will have a J&M Solve the World calendar.
Plus, we are thinking about doing a J&M Solve the World only barbecue here at Stu Him Productions South or Stewart Compound. What are we thinking?
August?
August?
Yeah. I think August is a good time.
We'll do like a brisket and...
Tri-tip. I mean...
If I'm doing a brisket, then we'll have people bring sides and...
Yeah.
We'll just have a little get-together.
Yeah. Some live music.
Yep.
Some good drink.
Yep.
You may even get your chance to be on a J&M Solve the World podcast.
There you go.
I mean, why the fuck not?
Hell yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to be on a J&M Solve the World podcast? As a matter of fact, so we're going to take a little break, and I'm going to have you watch this commercial, if you will, from one of our sponsors, and then we'll come back and we will finish up the podcast.
All right.
How's that sound?
Sounds good to
Sound
me.
good?
Sounds good to me.
All right. We will be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. Tonight, we're going to tell you about something a little special. Not only would you be able to get the J&M Solve the World shirt, but also the J&M Solve the World hat. I don't have a beanie. We've only made one. We've only made a couple of hoodies. But if you want to...
They are available.
They are available. And they will be here for the first annual J&M Solve the World barbecue get-together. Let's get fucked up and record a podcast.
There you go.
August 24th, 2024. So mark your calendars for August 24th, 2024 for the very first annual J&M Solve the World barbecue get-together.
PMS for directions.
And share and subscribe. Subscribe, share, and like our podcast. Share them with your friends, because if we get 200 follower or subscribers on YouTube and 100 subscribers on Spotify by July 31st, there will be a J&M Solve the World calendar for 2025.
Yes, and pictures have already been started to be taken for those.
Yes.
It will be here at J&M Solve the World, or I'm sorry, Stu Him
Productions
South
in Ramby, Missouri.
Missouri will be the barbecue. So, yeah, bring your friends. You know, we're hoping to have
A good turnout.
a good turnout. We're gonna probably smoke a brisket. If you want to come, bring a side, bring a dessert. That's kind of the way we do things around here in our community. I'll cook the meat. You guys bring some sides and some desserts and whatever you're drinking. We may have the J&M bar. Well, we will have the J&M bar set up out in the garage.
Yes.
With the wine glasses and everything for you wine drinkers out there. So it'll be a good time. Come on out. You have to have at least watched the podcast at least once.
Yes.
To know about this, because we're not telling anybody else but our J&M Solve the World viewers.
Our tens of listeners.
Our tens of listeners.
Which we are hoping to expand to our hundreds of listeners.
We want to get to Wonderland.
Yes.
We're close on YouTube.
We are.
We're close.
But close only works in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Exactly.
So, like, share, and subscribe. Maybe not in that order. Maybe subscribe, like, and share.
However you want to do it.
Yes. But if you would like a J&M Solve the World shirt, here is the back. If you would like a J&M Solve the World hat, if you would like a J&M Solve the World beanie and or hoodie, hit us up in the comments, send us a DM, let us know, and all these things will be available at the first annual J&M Solve the World barbecue get-together on August 24th, 2024. And with that being said, we return you now to your previously watched podcast. And we are back once again. So, I hope you enjoyed that. You got a little information, if you will. But back to the topic at hand. The whole Vince thing, it's It's unnerving.
It's. I think we're in agreement that I don't think anybody gave a rat's ass if Vince was having an affair.
No.
I mean,
no.
Morally right, wrong, whatever. An affair, and apparently there was several.
Right.
Because what was the total dollar amount of NDAs that he paid out? It was like 13 million,
I believe so.
something like that. And you would, going off another popular podcast, well, probably the most popular wrestling podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about that, and he said that's not the Vince McMahon I knew.
Right.
He said, now, did I know everything that's going on behind closed doors? He said, no. But he said Vince was all about the work. He said, I wonder, because when he left, that was about the time the Mr. McMahon character started coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and he started actually competing in the ring. He said, is it concussions?
I mean,
Is it fucking dementia coming in, or...
Well,
Vince has always been a control freak.
Right. And here's, looking back, it's all starting to make a little bit of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Shane left the company.
Mm-hmm.
Completely left the company.
Right.
And then Stephanie left the company. Not pulled back from TV and still had her VP role and everything. No.
Right. She was gone.
Completely left the company.
But then when Vince stepped down last year, she came back.
Yes.
And then
when he came back,
the crowd, she came back. Say her father was stepping down, and the crowd started the "Thank you, Vince" chant.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie didn't start that chant.
No.
She just kind of rolled with it
on
television. But then when Vince came back this last time, she's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So I think there's still allegations.
There is.
But how much, I think the big question is, how much did Triple H know? How much did Stephanie know? Did they know the whole details of these allegations?
Right.
I mean, WWE's not going anywhere.
No.
They're as popular now as they've been since the Attitude Era.
Right. And it's like we were talking during the break. It's almost like kayfabe is coming back.
Right.
The whole Rock and Cody Rhodes thing.
Right. The Rock and Triple H and
right.
Roman, and you're like, there's an ounce of truth
right
into what they're doing, but they're also working it, and that's what makes wrestling fun.
Right. And the Rock and Triple H heat goes back fucking
25 years
at least,
and
because there's always been the heat between them.
Mm-hmm.
The Roman Reigns is, in my opinion, he's Mr. Irrelevant because he doesn't truthfully title damn it,
the World Heavyweight Universal Wrestling
defend. That's
defend.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
he doesn't
right.
defend the title truthfully.
Because, like we were talking in the old days,
Yeah.
I don't care what title you had to defend it every 30 days.
Right.
If you got hurt and couldn't defend it, you had to forego the title.
You had to drop the title.
Yeah. It became vacant, and then it had a tournament or
right.
whatever, or a number one contenders match for the title or whatever. But yeah, he's got a sweet deal. I mean, he's held the belt longer than anybody since Hogan. Is that right? Because it's like Bruno is number one.
Yep.
For length of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Yeah, I think he's like 3 or something. It don't.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant.
Right.
But he's defended it probably the least of anybody that's ever held that title.
Right. And he's never defended it on a
Like a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown or.
well, no, he's never defended it on his own. He's always got somebody there
Right.
that's going to.
I mean, that's not a new thing. I mean,
No, by far it's not. But
the nature.
every single time he's defended that title,
Right.
because I don't give a shit. You look at Roman Reigns and you look at Brock Lesnar. For instance, Brock is a legit badass. He has held the heavyweight title in the UFC. And you're going to tell me that Roman Reigns can beat Brock Lesnar?
There's another name that's being washed away from WWE history because of these allegations. His name has never been brought up.
Right.
But in the allegations, it said former UFC champion.
Right.
Who's the only former UFC champion that's still active in WWE?
That's Brock.
You know, unless Ken Shamrock was doing some fucked up shit here recently, but he's not in WWE. So.
Well, and Ken Shamrock was never a WWE heavyweight title holder.
True. Yeah, because it said WWE champion and UFC champion.
Right.
I think he had the Intercontinental or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley.
Bellator champion.
Right.
Not UFC champion.
No.
Right.
But you're telling me that Roman Reigns can legit beat Bobby Lashley?
I would say not.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying Roman Reigns is a small pussy of a guy.
Oh, no, by no means.
He's got that Samoan heritage. That he's probably a badass, but is he a skilled badass like you say a Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley? No.
No. And,
even Cody Rhodes was a high school wrestler, state champion like twice.
Yeah.
Just remember on Junior's podcast, he was talking about that.
Yeah. Well, in the Becoming the American Nightmare.
Right.
I'm trying to remember if he went to college. I don't think he went to college.
I don't think he did because he went to California with his sister.
Acting.
Yeah.
He wanted to be an actor, and he said that it didn't work out for him, but what he learned in those acting classes helped the storyline.
Right.
Him to be able to
build his character.
Right.
Right.
And, he, along with like Randy Orton, have said that they got pulled up to the main roster too early.
Right.
They got pulled from OVW too early because of their name. And, I mean, because you look at Cody now versus Cody then.
Cody, when he was still in WWE before.
Yes.
His transformation is just
Yeah.
his character. I mean, he's not really a character now. He's like every great wrestling character ever now, where he's himself.
Yep.
Turned up to 10.
There's a little bit of sprinkling of the
American Dream.
There's a little bit of sprinkling of the American Dream, but he became his own person.
Right. When he came back, he told Vince and whoever, he said, "No, I'm the American Nightmare.
Yes.
I'm not Stardust. I'm not none of that bullshit.
Yeah.
This is who I am. Do you want this or not?
Right.
'Cause if not, I'll go somewhere else."
Right. And the wearing the suits, it's become that whole thing. Being an executive at AEW,
right?
Like really starting that from the ground, and wrestling in all those independent kind of territories when he left WWE before, going to Japan and actually getting the moniker the American Nightmare.
Right.
It showed him that he was still liked. People still liked him.
Right.
But if you didn't wrestle, you didn't get paid.
Right.
And if it was a shit match, people aren't going to come back to see you.
He actually wrestled for the NWA title against Nick Aldis.
Yes.
In his post WWE before AEW.
Mm-hmm.
You know. You talk about one that they're doing right, and I think is going to be he'll probably be main event in WrestleMania in the next 2 or 3 years, and that's Braun Breaker.
Yes.
And we all know
his lineage.
His dad is Rick Steiner.
Yep. The dog-faced gremlin.
But that's why they changed the Royal Rumble, because when all this shit broke,
mm-hmm.
they're like, okay, Brock can't be on there. So they brought Braun Breaker in and basically done Brock Lesnar's spot in the Royal Rumble.
Right.
And I can see him getting a big push in the next year or so because he's just damn good. But you know who's really happy about all these allegations? Tony Khan and Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Because Tony Khan had a meltdown on Twitter.
Yeah.
And Chris Jericho, there was allegations of sexual assault with another female wrestler or something back, but nobody's talking about any of that shit now.
No.
Not that since the Vince news broke. It's like,
well, and okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. You mentioned Chris Jericho. Why would he mess around with a wrestler,
right?
A fellow wrestler, when he could pretty much get any fucking groupie he wanted,
right,
from his band Fozzy.
Yeah, I mean they might be 40, but so
who was it? Gene Simmons in the 80s.
Yeah,
he said he had a mother-daughter tag team.
Right.
The mother came to see him in the 70s, and in the 80s, she brought her daughter.
Right.
Legal age.
Yeah. Well,
the days of Christine 16 are well behind them. And
think of all those songs that was wrote back
oh
in
my
the
God.
60s, 70s, 80s about pedophilia, basically.
Oh my God.
Winger, she's only 17.
Daddy says she's too young. But I don't see. It's very unfortunate, the whole Me Too movement. What Harvey Weinstein did was inexcusable.
Right.
What Jeffrey Epstein did was inexcusable. What a lot of stuff that has happened is extremely very unexcusable, and these people should pay the price. But now you've got, if somebody years and years ago, when I worked in retail in Arizona, and I would have coworkers that I would come up behind, hands on their shoulders, and just give them a little rub.
Right.
Try to get some of that tension out, because if you work retail, you're going to, if I did that now,
oh yeah,
oh my God, he sexually assaulted me. He sexually harassed me.
Yeah.
And it's like, did I?
Yeah. Did I grab your boob or grab your ass or
no. Did I grab her by the pussy?
Yeah, grab her by the pussy. You can do that when you're a billionaire.
I'll remember where the buttons are at some point. But
if
I'm not
but,
saying
you know, the bad the bad thing about it is what Harvey Weinstein did
yes,
was inexcusable.
yes.
But if these allegations on Vince McMahon are true,
Mm-hmm.
what Harvey Weinstein did ain't shit. He basically told actresses who were assuming of a legal age, this is how you're going to make it. You
Mm-hmm.
have to suck this old
Yeah,
weird fucking cock I have.
yeah.
What Vince did, allegedly, that's just borderline. I don't even have a word to describe it. You know,
No,
like,
it's wrong on so many levels.
And coming from a guy who's a billionaire,
Mm-hmm.
could have probably had any woman he wanted.
Yes.
But what he put this girl through was just, I mean, you know, they got him on sex trafficking and stuff too.
Yeah.
And this is the one of the NDAs.
Mm-hmm.
What about the others?
Now,
and all he had to do was pay her $3 million.
Yeah.
He paid her $1 million, and then for some reason he seen a clause that she done an interview or something and said, "Whoop, you broke it, so not paying you no more."
Right.
$2 million. She's gonna, you know, if this goes to a jury trial, Vince's $6 billion that he sold the company for, and the hundreds of millions of dollars, you know, they just signed a Netflix deal worth billions.
Yeah.
Whatever Vince has, he's going to lose a lot of it now. A lot more than the $2 million that he just had to pay her.
Right.
But
with Vince being a businessman and growing the company from what he got from his dad to where it was before he stepped down, I don't see it all being in his name.
Oh, I'm sure, but his personal wealth.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's going to cost him a lot more than $2 million.
But then...
And it should.
Right.
He should be in jail.
Oh,
my personal opinion.
But the other NDAs, you know, but I mean, the other NDAs, they can't come forward. They signed a legal binding contract.
See, there's another sticky point, though.
Yes.
His lawyer drew it up, and it was under the umbrella of WWE. But the WWE did not know about it.
Okay.
It was events to these women.
Yeah.
And so that you know, I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play one on TV. And
I didn't even stay in a Holiday Inn last night.
Right.
I stayed at Shea Stewart Compound.
The compound.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun. But like I say, you just wonder, Triple H, Stephanie, Shane, the board.
Yes.
Did anybody else know what was really going on?
Right.
And what's going to be the fallout of all that?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And, and I've got to wonder.
And with The Rock coming back on the board.
Of TKO.
May he be running WWE within a year if shit goes real sideways for everybody else that's in control right now.
I'll say this. From what I've seen from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Triple H bringing back superstars that have left, releasing some superstars that have stayed like mid-card and dropped down and everything, and people getting upset and whatnot. Triple H has kept that company going.
He's the reason it's as popular as it is right now.
Yes.
But like I say, what's going to be the fallout if shit come out that Triple H knew Vince was this person and treating other human beings this way. Did Dana White know when they brought McMahon back and put him on the board?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it could affect more than just wrestling. It could affect combat sports and everything. It's a shit show.
It is. It really is. And
we'll have to, you know, if the FBI investigations, who, from what I understand, they went in and they got Vince's phone, and so all the text messages and stuff that he sent this one lady, what if he sent all the other ladies too during the time? And I don't know. It could get really fucking messy.
So, stay with me here.
Okay.
Back in the 90s, you had Scott Hall, Kevin Nash leave WWE,
right?
sign with WCW. But they would show up in the crowd, come out of the crowd, and it made it seem like the WWE was taking over.
Right.
There was that whole angle. What if this is a work? I mean, I'm not saying it is. I'm not, you know, agreeing with it or anything. But what if it was, or what if it is, a fucking work to drive ratings?
It'd be the biggest work of all time.
Exactly.
You know,
to have, and again, this is all just rattling around in my head, but what if Vince is on the board? Everybody on the board had to sign an NDA that had catastrophic outcomes if you broke that NDA, to where you can't talk about Vince being there. He's not seen going into the building or anything like that. You know, what if this is a fucking work to drive ratings?
Well, everybody's talking about it.
Exactly. And
Wall Street Journal, fucking mainstream. I mean, boy, that'd be the ultimate work. Because
has anything came out from legit law enforcement?
Well, there is an FBI investigation, from what I understand.
Has that come out from the FBI? Is the question. Because you can say whatever you want.
Would the FBI disclose that if they were doing an investigation?
Well,
I mean, would they come out and say, we're investigating Vince McMahon and these?
Yeah, I mean, because of. But
I don't know if they've actually said anything or not. But supposedly they went to his house or whatever and confiscated materials from the report.
Right.
You know.
But I mean, that would have made.
You could read anything on the internet.
Right. But that would have made big news. There would have been cameras. There would have been, like, when they went into Mar-a-Lago, when they went to Biden's house and found those files. You know, when there's cameras everywhere, but there's no footage of the FBI going into his house, because it wouldn't be just like two agents. Hey guy, we're gonna need your phone and your computers.
Right.
No, it would have been, because
bust down the door and go in.
right.
Yeah, SWAT
That's
team.
a fucking billionaire who, you know, has got a fucking security team, because he is a fucking billionaire. And if he doesn't have a security team, he's fucking stupid.
Of course, if these allegations are true,
Mm-hmm.
then we can look back into the 90s at the Mr. McMahon character and go, oh, that was Vince. The Kiss My Ass Club.
Mm-hmm.
Making Trish Stratus bark like a dog. And, the sexual tension between him and Trish and, that,
Right.
all that is like, kind of makes sense now. I thought it was just a weird deal they were doing, but
Yeah.
I guess we're going to find out.
Again,
It's WrestleMania season,
it is.
and I'm probably looking forward to this one more than I have any in the last long time.
Yeah,
With
because
the stories that they're building right now, and Cody and Roman and The Rock, and everybody's paying attention to what they're doing right now.
Right. And
Is it our wrestling show from the 90s?
no.
No, but it's getting interesting.
It is. And the I can't shake that idea that this
As a wrestling fan,
yes.
I hope it is,
So do I.
because
You can't erase Vince McMahon from the WWE like they have with Chris Benoit.
if you do, then the WWE started right now.
Yes.
I mean, basically,
No Attitude Era.
no Attitude Era,
No Stone Cold Steve Austin.
no Hulkamania,
No fucking Undertaker.
no Andre the Giant. First time I ever seen Vince McMahon was on our local wrestling show back when I was a kid. Whenever Andre the Giant was coming to Springfield, Missouri, and it was Vince McMahon, who was just nobody knew he was the owner's son at the time, but he was just he was like Mean Gene Okerlund. He was just an interviewer.
Yes.
He
was a commentator.
Right. But he is WWE.
Yes.
If these allegations are true, it's like, how do you erase it?
Right. You can't. You can't. The Attitude Era, the Get the F Out era. There's just
The ruthless aggression.
yeah.
John Cena.
There's no fucking Mankind.
Right.
The Hell in the Cell.
There's no DX.
I mean, okay, if you want to get technical, there's no NWO.
Right. Because they started that to combat Vince.
Right.
Um,
Without Vince, there's no TNA.
and
Without Vince, there's no AEW.
I might get a lot of kickback from this statement. But if these allegations are true, this is actually, I don't want to say worse, but as bad as the Chris Benoit thing. And the only reason I say that is if what happened with Benoit and his family, that was a moment where, over a weekend, where he snapped. Something went really wrong. Whether it was from CTE, steroid use, whatever it was a moment in time. What Vince did was over a long period of time.
Right.
So, I don't know.
I still it's a fucked up situation any way you want to look at it. When Vince came back and he had that mustache
And the black hair.
Yeah.
Looked like Snidely Whiplash.
I was getting ready to say that. And
maybe he had been tying girls to railroad tracks.
but again, it's difficult to even think about that this isn't a work.
Mm.
I mean, because it's the biggest news going on right now.
Right.
Shadowed only by the
mean,
Super Bowl.
We haven't done a total wrestling podcast since our first one.
Yeah.
And here we are doing it because of this.
Right. And I mean, if you sit there and you actually think about this wouldn't have worked in the 80s or the 90s or even in the first part of this century.
Right.
Because social media isn't what it is today.
Right.
Anybody can say whatever they want on social media. Anybody can record anything they want and get it on the internet. So why wouldn't you fabricate a story like that? And again, I'm not saying that it is, and I'm not condoning what allegedly happened, but what I'm saying is it would be the biggest fucking kayfabe.
But how do you get it to an end spot though? Where's the blow off? It just comes out and goes, "Ha ha, fools you fuckers.
Got you good fuckers." The end spot, I don't know. The end spot would be
if she shows up on TV,
yes,
and announces she is the majority owner of WWE now. I'll be like, okay, we're getting worked.
Or if she shows up on TV and says that she is the new president,
chairman of the board,
the new chairman of the board,
yeah. Or
Linda comes back.
You haven't heard nothing out of Linda.
Right.
Of course, you haven't heard nothing out of Shane, nothing out of Stephanie.
I saw a thing, Shane's son just got accepted to the University of North Carolina to play football.
Yeah, I seen that.
But Stephanie, yeah. But
I mean, Shane hasn't made a statement on
no.
this. I seen on YouTube Bret Hart
Yep.
had a deal about it. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm not sure what he's got to say. But I've watched a lot of them. Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Dutch Mantel. And, yeah, they're, they all knew Vince, but they never seen.
Right.
Pretty much the story that I've seen from different people who would have been in that circle or knew Vince, not in that circle.
Yeah.
But
you haven't heard anything from John Laurinaitis?
Yeah, you have.
Really?
His attorney has come out and says he was a victim too. Okay, Johnny, really? And there you go. That's fucking Road Warrior Animal's brother.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
the ramifications just ripple throughout professional wrestling history.
Right.
But
yeah, I see the end game would be Linda McMahon making an appearance at WrestleMania right before the main event and says, "I am the new chairman of the board for World Wrestling Entertainment."
And Vince is buried in the backyard.
But nothing is mentioned.
She's been out campaigning for Republican candidates,
Yes.
which is kind of really you want to show your face in public with all these allegations going on. You know, I mean, I don't know. You know,
But that's an end game that of this work, this kayfabe. Because Linda, she was the only one during the Attitude Era that could bring Vince to his knees.
kind of rein him in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she'd make her appearance. When, you know, of course, storyline. When Stone Cold was fired, you're fired.
Yeah.
And then he shows up like 2 weeks later, and Vince is, you know, trying to have him arrested, and then Linda comes out and says no.
All right. Remember when Stone Cold pulled the gun on him in the ring?
Oh yeah.
Then he pissed all that himself. Then he
Yep.
pulled the trigger and the bang flag came out.
Yep.
Probably couldn't do that angle today.
No. But you know, that was everybody's dream.
Mm-hmm.
That storyline between Stone Cold and Mr. McMahon.
Right.
Everybody wanted to fucking tell their boss to go eat a dick or beat the hell out of their boss or, you know, whatever. And Stone Cold was looked at as that blue collar beer drinking, I don't give a fuck attitude. And Mr. McMahon was the suit wearing,
I'm in total control.
yeah, I'm the white collar guy, and you got to do what I say, and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I think we've rambled quite a bit.
Yep. Haven't solved shit.
Nope. Again, I can't say this enough. We do not condone the allegations.
Well, we condone the allegations, but not what he supposedly did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
And if it's true, I hope she gets.
I hope she
everything.
gets what she deserves.
If it's true, I hope she gets what she deserves. And I hope he gets what he deserves, and that's
Yes.
prison for the rest of his life.
Right. And if it is a work, it'll be the best storyline ever.
God, what a risk.
It is.
What a fucking risk.
It is. But, you know, there's no in-ring. There's no TV time for it. It's all, I mean, because, yeah.
It's like Cornette said. He said at Vince's age, there is not enough time on the clock to ever come back from this.
No. No.
You know?
And
we talked about this before. Vince was always adamant that nobody ever thanked him when they got their Hall of Fame induction. He said, "Don't thank me at all."
And he never,
that has worked out great for all those superstars that are inducted in the Hall of Fame, because now people can't go back and be, well, you like Vince here, you thanked him in the Hall of Fame. Not, unlike all those actresses that thanked Harvey Weinstein for giving them an opportunity. Yeah,
right.
Okay.
And there's only been, I think, one person that Vince has ever inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, who was that? I can't remember.
Undertaker.
That's right. You'll take her sitting back at home going, what the fuck, dude?
Well, and the Hall of Fame, that Hall of Fame class, the Steiners were inducted, and, you know, but with Taker, they had the mannequins with all of his different garb and,
Right.
you know, I mean, Vince inducted him, and he thanked Vince for the opportunity and the character, and, you know, I mean, yeah.
Well, it kind of goes back to the old saying, you never know somebody.
Right.
I mean, everybody that, you know, who knows what that circle was, you know, him and Laurinaitis apparently,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe a former UFC champion was involved
Maybe.
that we know of,
Allegedly.
but just because you work with a guy doesn't mean you know what they do behind closed doors.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's fucked up, and we'll see. And that's why we're watching.
Yes. But you have just watched another episode of Stu Him Productions Presents.
J&M, Solve the World. I have been James.
And I've been Matt. And on behalf of our now absent cohort and resident over-the-road trucker, Andrew, you keep one fist in the gold, one foot in the gutter, and we will be seeing you.
Peace.